Hey everyone, buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into the Vegas loop.
Ooh, the Vegas loop.
Yeah, Elon Musk's underground Tesla highway.
Right.
We've got some interesting excerpts here from this article,
Okay.
the Vegas loop. A tunnel vision. So we're going to figure out, is this thing the future of transportation or just,
A gimmick.
yeah, a gimmick in the desert?
Well, it's interesting because, underground transportation's not new, right? We have subways.
Right.
But this is like next level.
Yeah.
Autonomous Teslas, zipping people around in tunnels.
Yeah, it's like,
It's very futuristic.
it's very Jetsons, right?
Yeah.
And especially for a city like Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Where, traffic,
Have fun about it.
especially if you're there for like a big conference or something, it's a nightmare.
Oh, absolutely.
And this promises to shrink your travel time down to minutes,
Right, exactly.
which sounds amazing.
Yeah, it would be huge, especially for, like you said, like a city like Vegas that thrives on these big conventions. If people can get around that quickly, it would definitely be a game changer.
But, and there's always a but,
Right.
there's always a but. This article raises some questions about who the loop is really for.
Okay.
Because it seems like it's mostly geared towards tourists and people attending these conferences.
I see.
But what about the people who actually live and work in Vegas year-round?
Yeah, that's a really good point, and it kind of makes you think, is it actually going to benefit the city as a whole?
Right. And is it even, sustainable if it's only really busy during these events?
That's a big question mark.
And what happens when those events aren't happening?
Exactly, and and the article even mentions that, the entire thing relies on Teslas,
Oh, right, right.
which, great cars,
They are?
but like any technology, what happens when those cars become outdated?
Yeah, or if there's
Or breakdown.
yeah, like a glitch.
Glitch, yeah,
The
exactly.
article mentioned some, technical issues.
Right, and then what?
Right. What happens then?
Exactly, and, are underground systems as easy to adapt and fix as above ground ones?
Right, right. That's a good point.
We don't know.
And speaking of things that make you go, the article also talks about safety concerns.
Okay.
There have been reports of trespassing and even some, property damage near the tunnels,
Oh, wow.
which, those are real concerns.
Absolutely, you have to think about security.
Right.
And if something happens down there, how do emergency responders even get down there quickly?
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Exactly, a whole other deep dive maybe.
Right. So let's say, hypothetically, the Vegas loop is a success.
Okay.
Does that mean we're all going to be living in underground cities in the future?
It's definitely a test case that a lot of people are watching closely,
Right.
but it does beg the question, are there better ways to solve these problems above ground?
Right.
Or are we just obsessed with going faster?
Yeah. And what about the environmental impact of all this digging?
That's a big one.
The article didn't even touch on that, which is interesting.
It's a huge factor to consider because, is it actually helping the environment or hurting it?
Right, right, because digging all those tunnels can't be good for the planet.
Right, exactly. It's a trade-off.
So it's a lot to think about.
It really is.
Is the Vegas loop the future? Or is it,
tunnel vision.
exactly, maybe a little bit of both?
Maybe a little bit of both, yeah.
Well, on that note, we'll leave you to ponder all of this.
Lots to think about.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.